His Royal Magnificence, Xerath the Eternal Sovereign of 1,000 worlds, Master of the Void, gazed upon the tactical display with the supreme confidence of one who had never known defeat. The holographic projection showed his royal conquest fleet in perfect formation, 800 vessels of unparalleled design, each one a masterpiece of Cytherian engineering that had crushed civilizations across 3 galactic arms. Your Magnificence, Admiral Vorthak, bowed his crystalline head. The fleet has reached the target system. The third planet Earth, as these primitives call it, lies defenseless before us. Xerath's segmented body rippled with satisfaction. For 6,000 years, the Cytherian Empire had expanded without pause, adding world after world to his domain. This latest target had been selected almost casually, a young species that had barely achieved interstellar flight, occupying a single world in an unremarkable system. "Show me their pathetic defenses," Xerath commanded from his throne of living crystal, aboard the flagship Eternal Dominion. The display shifted, focusing on Earth's orbital space. A handful of primitive stations and a few dozen small vessels were all that stood between his fleet and easy conquest. The disparity was almost insulting. "Truly, Your Magnificence," Vorthak said with barely concealed amusement. "They possess no shields worthy of the name, no weapons that could threaten even our scouts. No, Your Magnificence." The communications officer's urgent cry interrupted the Admiral. "We're receiving a transmission from the planet." "Put it through," Xerath said magnanimously. "Let us hear their surrender." The main screen flickered, revealing a human female in what appeared to be a military uniform. She sat at a simple desk with the calm demeanor of someone discussing weather patterns. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force," she said, without preamble. "You have 30 seconds to withdraw from this system." The bridge fell silent for a moment before erupting in harsh Cytherian laughter. Even Xerath's crystalline features twisted into what passed for amusement among his kind. 30 seconds? Xerath's voice boomed across the communication channel. "Do you have any concept of whom you address? I am Xerath the Eternal, ruler of 1,000 worlds. Your entire species could not threaten a single one of my vessels." Admiral Chen checked something that looked like a primitive timepiece. 20 seconds. "This grows tiresome," Xerath declared. "Admiral Vorthak, demonstrate the futility of their defiance. Destroy one of their orbital stations." "With pleasure, Your Magnificence." The Stellar Decimator, one of the fleet's heavy cruisers, powered its primary weapon, a lance of coherent antimatter that could vaporize mountains. The beam lanced out toward the nearest human space station, and simply stopped. "What?" Vorthak's voice cracked as he stared at the readings. "The beam has been contained in some sort of field, but that's impossible. The energy requirements alone would." 10 seconds, Admiral Chen said calmly. "All ships, full bombardment." Xerath roared. "Reduce this system to cosmic dust." 800 Cytherian warships unleashed hell itself. Antimatter cannons, quantum disruptors, gravitational weapons that could crack moons, every instrument of destruction in the most advanced fleet ever assembled fired simultaneously at the small blue world. None of it reached the target. The attacks struck what appeared to be empty space and simply ceased to exist. Not deflected, not absorbed, erased from reality, as if they had never been fired at all. 5 seconds, Chen continued, as if nothing had happened. "Impossible," Xerath shrieked. "No species possesses technology capable of." "Time's up," Admiral Chen said, and pressed a single button on her desk. What happened next defied every law of physics the Cytherians understood. Space around their fleet began to fold. Not like the dimensional manipulation they knew from their own FTL drives, but something far more fundamental. Reality itself was being rewritten at the quantum level. The first ships to disappear were the scouts on the fleet's perimeter. They simply blinked out of existence, leaving no debris, no energy signature, no indication they had ever been there at all. Then the destroyers. Then the cruisers. Evasive maneuvers. Vorthok screamed, but there was nowhere to run. The wave of annihilation spread inward through the fleet, with mathematical precision, erasing entire squadrons from existence. "What are you doing to us?" Zerath demanded, his voice breaking with a fear he had never experienced. Admiral Chen's expression remained professionally neutral. "Quantum erasure. We've learned to edit the universe's source code, so to speak. Very useful for removing things that shouldn't exist." The Eternal Dominion shuddered as the erasure field reached the command vessels. Through the viewports, Zerath watched in horror as his greatest dreadnoughts simply weren't anymore. "You cannot do this," he raged. "We are the masters of the galaxy. We have conquered 1,000 worlds." "Had," Chen corrected gently. "Past tense. You had conquered them. We've been quite busy returning those worlds to their original inhabitants, actually. Turns out, quantum erasure works just as well on occupation forces as it does on invasion fleets." The implications hit Zerath like a physical blow. "You've been reversing our conquests? Every single one. 6,000 years of expansion undone in about 6 months. Your empire never existed. Your former magnificence. We've edited it out of history." Around them, the flagship began to phase out of reality. Zerath could feel himself becoming insubstantial, his consciousness starting to fade as the universe forgot he had ever been born. "How?" he whispered with his last breath. "How could primitives possess such power?" Admiral Chen smiled sadly. "We aren't primitives. We're the caretakers." This galaxy was getting quite crowded with aggressive expansionist empires, so we decided to do some spring cleaning. As the last Kytherian vessel winked out of existence, Chen turned to address someone off-screen. "Target eliminated. Begin restoration protocols for all former Kytherian territories, and activate the memorial archives. Future civilizations should remember what happened to species that chose conquest over cooperation." She paused, looking directly into the camera with eyes that held the weight of cosmic responsibility. "Let this serve as a warning to any other eternal empires watching. Earth is not defenseless. Earth is not primitive. Earth is the janitor, and we're very good at taking out the trash." The transmission ended, leaving behind only empty space, where the greatest fleet in galactic history had once existed. In the memorial archives that would soon be discovered by a dozen liberated species, a simple inscription appeared. "The Kytherian Empire, 6,000 years of conquest, erased in 30 seconds by those they thought were prey." Somewhere in the cosmic background radiation, the fading echo of Xerath's final scream served as a reminder that in the vast darkness between stars, humanity had appointed itself the guardians of peace. And they were very, very good at their job.